this is going to be, first of all, this needs to go on Twitch. I'm probably going to post this later today. This is a conversation that needs to happen. I stopped reading. I'm streaming on Twitch right now. I stopped reading my chat. Okay, we're going to start the conversation from here. So what I want you to do is, if you're watching this on YouTube, put a comment now, right at the beginning, of what your opinion is. And then afterwards, maybe put another comment saying if you changed your mind or if you believe the same. Because there's a line drawn in the sand between two games. The two biggest games in fighting games have a game coming out this year. Mortal Kombat, right? This shit, right? And Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter 6 is already out. You can go to the store and buy it. Full disclosure, I have not played it. I didn't play the betas. I have not bought it. I have not touched that game. I have seen plenty of footage. It does not look appealing to me. I don't like the way it looks, and I don't really care. I'm really more of a Mortal Kombat guy. If you're watching this shit on YouTube, you just look at my videos. When have I done a Street Fighter video? Okay, I don't hate Street Fighter. I heard it's good. People in my chat right now, or the chat will probably be on that side of the screen. People in my chat right now are saying that Street Fighter is dope. I heard that it's very good, so I'm not hating on it. My first fighting game was Street Fighter 2, just like everybody else my age, all right? But if you will come back with me back in time to 2009, we're going deep, baby. We going on a journey, right? 2009, Street Fighter 4 comes out to home console. Street Fighter 4 comes out with the Ultra system. And this kind of changed everything, okay? This is a little bit of history lesson. Before the Ultra system, fighting games were basically entirely a meritocracy. It was all skill-based, okay? You had to be good. If you wanted to make that, that's why that Daigo video is so goddamn tight, is because you had to be good to do that. That was not a comeback mechanic. That was Daigo being dope as fuck and blowing up Justin Wong to win Evolution, okay? But then Street Fighter 4 comes out and they have the Ultra Combo system where the more damage you took, this meter built up to give you a super dope fucking finishing move to make a huge comeback. And the whole point of this, right? The whole point of this was to give beginner players a chance to make a comeback against an advanced player, right? And this is where the line in the sand was drawn. In dumbing down or slowing down or simplifying fighting games to make it easier for beginners, right? Or the old way of just get fucking good. And like beginners either get good or they just find something else to play. As we saw, they decided to play first-person shooters. But Street Fighter 4 changed the game because they invited beginners in. They made the game a lot easier in a lot of respects for beginners, the focus system and all of that. The problem is all of those things put into the game to make it easier for beginners actually made it harder for beginners because advanced players would break that shit down. We would figure out the tech. We would blow it up, and then we would come up with stuff that beginners couldn't do that we could do using their own mechanics, and then the game Street Fighter 4 ends up having now this reputation for being this uncrackable egg, right? It's almost impossible for a new player to like even start to get into Street Fighter 4. And that kind of changed things because after that, people saw the success of Street Fighter 4. They saw the money Street Fighter 4 made, and every other fighting game kind of started chasing that dragon, right? Mortal Kombat 9 came out with a dope-ass story mode, and everybody tried to chase that dragon. Street Fighter came out and made the game more accessible. Everybody chased that dragon, right? But now, we're actually a decade and some change out from Street Fighter 4's release, and we can actually see the results of making the game more accessible for beginners. Not necessarily more accessible for like disabled people. We've got guys like Broly Legs. Fuck, I'm disabled, right? We got disabled people that can play fighting games, all right? I got TJ, who's a blind dude who hangs out here. He plays fighting games. He can't even fucking see. So fighting games have always been accessible for like people to physically play, but there was always that skill barrier, right? You had to get good in order to even enjoy the game, and fighting games tried to remove those onion layers of making you get good in order to enjoy the game. Like Dave Serlin had that famous quote of get to the real fun, right? Let's remove the execution. Let's remove all this memorization. Let's remove all this frame data. Let's get to the real fun, the real mind games of fighting games. For a long time, I was a big supporter in this because I was like, yo, I can't even do half that shit anyways, man. Hook me up, right? But I was like, yo, if more people played, maybe it would be better. And we now have 10 years of them chasing that dragon. But see, it's always a vicious cycle. They come up with a new mechanic or a new thing for beginners. Advanced people figure it out, make it better for advanced people. Beginners get cut off. They can't fucking do it. They get blown up, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And now we are in the year of our Lord, 2023 AD, right? We have Street Fighter 6 that has released already. You can play it right now. We have Mortal Kombat 1 about to release in September of this year. And both games have taken diametrically opposed positions on this argument as of this fucking beta right now. Street Fighter 6 is released with something called modern controls that it changes up your control scheme to no longer have 3 punches and 3 kicks. You have 1-button combos. You have 1-button special moves. I guess you have 1-button supers. I know if you just press 1 button, it picks the best normal for the range that you're at and then goes for a combo route from there. So no matter what range you're at, you basically could like autopilot and the idea is you're supposed to like ease into it, and then because a lot of your buttons are, they're inaccessible, right? Because you only have the one attack normal button. So it's like, all right, I don't have crouching attacks. I just have a mid-range attack that it just gives me. So it is limited. But I'm finding, and it's limited, but it was designed for beginners to ease in, to eventually go to the regular controls. But advanced players are wrecking faces with it, saying, yo, man, the pluses, are outweighing the negatives. And, is that going to create issues in the tournament scene? I don't know. But Street Fighter 6 is one of the biggest fighting games in the world right now because of the accessibility. Anybody could jump in, mash their controller against their face, do super combos, and feel like they're Daigo versus Justin Wong. Mortal Kombat has actually come out and has done the opposite. With this beta, they have made a statement. Within this game, I just did a guide on how to do Korean backdash from Tekken. One of the gatekeeper mechanics that holds a lot of people out of Tekken. They're like, I can't fuck with Tekken. It has Korean backdash. I can't do that. It's in this game. And if it's in this game, you got to learn it. Okay, you're going to have to learn Korean backdash or wave dashing or whatever it is to be able to navigate neutral in this game. It is that fucking good. I was playing yesterday just doing 2 repetitions of Korean backdash in the neutral online. 2 repetitions. Do 1, do 2, back, forward, back. Baiting buttons and blowing them up for full combo punish. And I'm like, dude, this is like Tekken 101. Wave dash forward 2 times. Wave dash back 2 times. If they pressed a button, do a launch. Right? Like, that's like basic Tekken. And I was like, dude, that's working in this game. And I'm winning rounds. People were saying, oh, you suck. You don't even have combos. You suck. And I'm like, dude, I'm just doing Tekken fundamentals into fucking regular chain, forward 4-3, back 4-3, a fucking fireball, right? String into special move basic shit, and I'm beating people with just fundamental Korean backdash tactics in this game. And that's on top of the fact that this game has opened up combo possibilities. Everybody's talking about, oh man, it's so free. This combos into this. There's meterless launchers. You have strings that just launch. You have fucking air combos that meterlessly ground bounce and relaunch again. And then if you want to spend a bar, you can spend 3 bars. That shit comes back so quick. Plus you have assists that regenerate on their own. Those combo into everything else. And you could use the same assist twice in the certain combos, right? Though you can use the Sonya assist twice in one combo. It's like, what the fuck? The combos are ridiculous. And whenever they open up combos, we saw with Marvel vs. Capcom, when they were just like, go crazy, everything combos into everything. Yo, that game ended up having wild execution barriers because the combos that people optimized were fucking hard. Right? They took the easy stuff and they optimized it and made it hard anyways. So we're going to have hard movement plus hard combo damage. This is going to be a hard game. This is going to be a game that fucking breaks the Mortal Kombat community, right? Because this is basically bringing fighting game shit for the hardest fighting game, which is Tekken, and putting it in Mortal Kombat where these guys are used to fucking run button and dial-a-strings. And yeah, they're already losing their shit on Twitter, but the line is drawn in the sand, and I am so excited to see where this goes. Who is going to win this war? Who's going to sell more? Is it going to be Street Fighter, who chose the side of accessibility and welcoming newcomers? Or is it going to be Mortal Kombat that said, no, man, we're going to go full meritocracy. If you want to enjoy Mortal Kombat at the highest levels with the best players in the world, you will fucking earn it. Okay, you can be a casual, you could do fatalities, you could do a fatal blow and Sonya tags in and stabs him in the neck or whatever, right? But if you want to play the game and enjoy it at the level that they do, you've got to earn that. To be able to even move is going to require a commitment. And that is a statement. And that's a statement I now stand behind. I am firmly on the side of Mortal Kombat in this argument because, quite frankly, I see what extreme accessibility and inclusivity does to the community. There's a lot of just fucking assholes, and look at what Smash, man. It's a pedophile fucking feeding fest, right? And I'm not saying that all fighting games are like that, but I feel like being open and inviting everybody has invited in a lot of fucking irritating people. We need to gatekeep some of that shit, and we used to gatekeep it by skill, right? You can be as irritating as you fucking want to if you're good enough to back it up, right? Sonic Fox annoys the shit out of people. But he's good enough to where he wins tournaments, so everybody accepts him and says, yo, dude, I may or may not like Sonic Fox. He may annoy the shit out of me, but he's earned my respect, right? Earned the respect, and I'm on the Mortal Kombat side. I think that using skill as a gatekeeper is what fighting games need again. We went too far, right? I think we should have went a little bit into accessibility, and I think we've gone far enough, and we need to swing it on back, right? We need to swing it on back. I feel like this decade of accessibility has increased the skill level of your average player to the point where people are now hungrier for the harder shit, right? The guys who were new with Street Fighter 4 with those baby mechanics have played through 10 years of fighting games with baby mechanics, and now they're hungry for something harsh, right? And that's why Tekken 7 is so popular right now. And that's why a lot of people are playing Street Fighter 6, because Street Fighter, again, has a reputation of not being a very easy game. This is the easiest it's been, but I don't know if it's easier or not. I haven't played it. From what I heard, it's still got depth. Everybody I know that plays high-level fighting games is like, yeah, in classic mode, this game is phenomenal. Like, just fucking avoid the modern shit and like, yo, this game is fucking good. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm a Mortal Kombat guy. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to dance with the girl I brought to the prom. And the fact that we philosophically converge just makes things all the more sweeter for me. But, again, let me know what you think now that you have heard both sides of this story. Go ahead and leave a second comment if you're still watching this video. I really want to know what people think, because at the end of the day, this discussion is going to be settled on the streets, and the street is Main Street, right? Not Wall Street, but Main Street. People are either going to buy Mortal Kombat and support a harder meritocratic game, or they're going to buy Street Fighter 6 and support a more accessible, easier game. And also long term, we're going to see which game holds on the longest. Perhaps Street Fighter will get a sudden surge of players in the early, right? Because of the accessibility, those players will get good, get bored with that game, and then switch over to Mortal Kombat. And then we'll be talking 10 years from now. Nobody plays Street Fighter 6, but we're at Evolution 2043, and Mortal Kombat 1 is still a main stage game, right? Which game's going to have the sales? Which game's going to have the player base longevity? Which game's going to have the sales longevity? Which game is going to have the support? Which game is going to have the longest and best support, right? That's going to be tied to the audience, right? If people buy the games and play the games, right? Not just buy them and then drop them. But if people buy Street Fighter 6 and stick with Street Fighter 6, that sends a message. People buy MK1 and they stick with MK1, that sends a message, right? That message should be sent loud and clear, but you could send that message in my comment section. Let me know what you think, all right? And like, comment, subscribe. I can't wait for Mortal Kombat 1, people. I can't. I am going to support the side of skill. I hope you're here to join with me.